Hey y'all, I'm not gonna be on here long because, first of all, I have a lot of work to get done before I need to pick up my babies from school. And then second of all, the longer I stay, the better chance that I'm gonna fuck around and go left in not the best way. And I know that this live is the beginning to multiple conversations around this. But I was typing a post, and I said, fuck that. Y'all ain't never known me to just type a post. I'm better with my voice. Hey, Diva. So again, I'm going to keep this short because I just want to keep control of my words and not go too far off the deep end because I'm pissed right now. And I need to stay mentally right because I got work to do. And it's just not the moment yet for what needs to be said. So I titled this live stream, Listen to Your Children, Get the Help You Need, and Stop Passing Down Your Trauma. I believe that's what I said. And I'm going to say this. For those who are parents and for those who support children in any capacity, I ask that you listen to them when they share their hurt, when they share their harm, and when someone is harming them. Somehow we have got into this space of putting our men and our women and our spouses before our children. And I understand the way of how God's system works as it relates to God, spouse, children. I get that part. This is not speaking in that because I'm a married woman of almost 10 years. I'm not speaking to that. But there are situations, and mind you, that situation is when you're married, so that's a whole nother something. But a lot of people have these situations that they are in that seems to overshadow that protection of their children. That I want this person in my life so much that I can't hear nor see my children's harm or hurt. And I beg of you to hear your children. One thing I notice is that life is not necessarily anything of a coincidence, which means that children start early testing their safety with you. It can just start with them coming home telling you one day that someone at the school getting on their goddamn nerves, or someone at the school is challenging them or hitting them, or hell, they might have a frustration with a family member, and they'll come to you and be like, "Mama, Unc keep hitting me," whatever the fuck. And your response to that can determine how comfortable they feel coming to you for something greater. I'm going to use a real fucking life example. There's a situation where a young lady was harmed by a family member, a family member's boyfriend. And when the young lady addressed, let's say her mom, and let her mom know, the mom, due to the love for that particular family member and wanting to stay in the good graces of their family member, took the route of, well, baby girl, let's see what's going on. Maybe it's not what you think, and things of that nature, which made the young lady feel unseen, which made her feel unheard. Unfortunately, because of that, years later, this young lady would then experience a situation of being touched and sexually penetrated by an even closer family member, one of same blood. And imagine, do you think that child feels safe enough to go back to their parent and express that hurt and express what is happening if she was shut down at the moment of something not as grand, not as big, but in the same realm? And so, and coincidentally, this young lady goes down the spectrum of allowing this to continue to happen, continue to be penetrated, continue to be touched, unknown. And then even to the point of getting lost to asking for it, wanting it. We make these children. We decide to have these children. We decide to keep these children. But then we also make the decision not to protect these children. And these children, if you realize, because you were once a child, has a whole life before them to live. And it's crazy because, unfortunately, some things you experience in life, your child may come across those same things. And you not facing that harm, you not facing that trauma, you not being admitted to that trauma. And admitting doesn't mean going to the person that harmed you. It doesn't have to be that if that's not the space you want to be in. Admitting doesn't even necessarily mean having to share it with someone. That is all of a choice, though I'm all for fucking telling the tale. But admitting is coming in the understanding with self that this is happening. Coming to understanding of self that this was wrong. So that you can heal, so that when you're faced with it with one of your children, you can respond differently and not push it under the damn rug, not ignore it as if it hadn't happened. I want to share that mental illness is so real. And though mental illness definitely is relative to the brain and neurological triggers and things of that nature, trauma can push that shit to the far deep north. So I'm just like reaching out to our community, and I beg you, if you're hurting, I beg you, if you hurt, to get the help you need to be a better person, not just for yourself, but for those that God is trusting you with. Whether it is your very own children, whether it is children in a public situation, we have children in schools, children in this. You take on these careers and you step into these positions harmed, hurt, and then you repeat it. You repeat being touched by touching someone else. You repeat ignoring someone's harm. You repeat having your harm ignoring someone else's harm because your harm was ignored. You repeat gaslighting someone else's situation because you were gaslighted. You repeat these things, and not everybody is as strong as you. That's the other fucking thing that just throws me into the fucking water and just makes me want to fucking sink, because Not everyone is as strong as you. So I give two fucks what you have successfully been able to endure and make it through and experience and thrive from, and be like, well, so-and-so did this to me and I made it. Or I've been hurt or touched and I'm not touching nobody else. Or I've been hurt and touched and I'm not flipping out and losing my mind. I've been robbed and stole from. I ain't doing X, Y, and Z. Well, God damn it, that don't mean the next person won't. So making a choice to not fully acknowledge your pain, acknowledge your hurt, get help through that is not cool. Because not everyone can withstand what you have withstanded. And maybe they are put in your pathway because you were strong enough to withstand it. That maybe you'll be bold enough to get healed, so that because they're not as strong to withstand it, you can guide them, you can support them, you can be there for them and not repeat that shit or have it repeated, so that your bloodline can be cleared, your bloodline can be healed. We have so much more access to things in this day and age than our ancestors before us, our family members before us, and had access to. We have more knowledge than we did back in the day that we have access to. At this point, we should face the fact that yes, we were hurt. We should face the fact that yes, we were traumatized. And I get the part of the shame that comes around it. I understand that there's shame around admitting to the point that you've been touched or that you've been hurt by a family member, that you've been threatened, that you've been robbed, that you've been whatever your trauma is. I get that there's shame around it. I get that there's fear of judgment, but it's even worse when you harbor that in and then you repeat it to someone else. Because at this stage and at this community and in this life, it's mothers ignoring the fact that their daughters are being touched. It's fathers touching their daughters or sons. It's mothers touching their daughters or sons. It's uncles touching their nieces and nephews. Aunties touching their nieces and nephews. And right now I'm talking about touching because that's the story I started with. But it's cousins fucking cousins, siblings fucking siblings. It's shit. Family members robbing family members, folks gaslighting, folks, all types of fucking traumas. I'll never forget, because again, y'all watch me share my life on this timeline like a motherfucker, to the point I had created a whole nother damn Facebook account to just get away and breathe from all of the fuck shit that was, around this timeline, because so much had been given. And with that, judgment and all the fucking things. And it's like, I do run a whole company. And I am over here healing, and I heal out loud. But, went left for a second. But the reality is, if we just come, it don't have to be like this anymore. This world is fucked up. But it don't have to be like this anymore. It don't have to be like this anymore. There are resources out there. Therapy is okay. I get the shame. I get the feeling of judgment. I understand. But it's okay. It's okay to talk about the thing. It's okay to say the thing. It's okay to admit to the thing, even if the thing is harm you have caused. Because harboring that only causes more harm. It gets someone else hurt. And someone can be worse than you. You can fuck around and be like, well, I ain't do it that bad. Well, they did. They're not you. You can't judge someone's reaction or non-reaction based on how you reacted and make your choice on that. We have to protect these children. These children are the ones that are before us, that are going to stay here, that are going to repeat the thing, and that is going to grow into better. And what are we giving them? What are we giving them? Like, we have to choose to truly heal. We have to choose to truly face the things that we have experienced and the things that we have done. I feel like the reason that even I, on July 30th, 2020, decided to tell my husband of my infidelities to him, after lying and keeping it to myself for a whole 10 years was way deeper than just the fact of he deserved to know that. But then it was also the fact that I'm raising 5 children that could cause this same harm, that could do this same thing. And the things that I've done could have got me murdered. The things that I've done could have gave me the worst of the worst STDs. The things in the response I've done could have got the next person murdered. And so just because I was able to keep things hidden and unsaid for so long doesn't mean that my child won't step out there and repeat such a thing and won't have this same fate, won't have the same look. So in me speaking the thing and saying the thing, they were educated about what not to do, how not to move, and had real life examples. We have to stop discrediting real life examples. Y'all even have to recognize as adults how differently you respond to people when they tell you not to do a thing and just leave it at that, compared to when they tell you not to do the thing because they break down how they did the thing and the consequences or gain of that thing. There's 2 different responses there. And so when it comes to children, because children is always where I'm going to come back to, it's not just about like, hey, stop jumping on that couch. It's more so, stop jumping on that couch or you're going to fall and hurt yourself. Stop jumping off that couch or you can break an arm. Stop jumping on the couch or you can fall on this carpet and you can scrape your arm across this carpet and it can burn. That's a whole different way of giving them insight on why the hell they shouldn't do a thing so they can make conscious fucking choices. So in you acknowledging the harm that you've caused or the harm that you've experienced and can speak that, because you don't have to be like me. You don't got to speak that shit publicly. Ain't nobody asking you to go live. Ain't nobody asking you to go be in front of a poll or anything like that. But it's people right there around you that need to hear those things. Hell, I'll never forget. I shared with my daughter a while back how I lost my virginity. And I didn't just tell her I lost my virginity. I told her like where my mind was at the day before and how the next day led into itself and all of the actions of the day and all of the things and what I was thinking and all those things. And in such of sharing that with her, hey, Crystal Boo, that allowed her to make a better choice with the decision of how to move forward with the interaction with a friend of hers that could have went differently, because we could say how strong we are and we could say what we want to do. And we could be very stern in that, but you are growing, you are evolving, and some things you really don't know until you're in that situation and faced with it right then in your face. And that's truly the reality. And sometimes you might do and not do exactly what you said you might do and not do. And some moments you might not. And so that's just where I'm at right now. And I wanted to share that. I wanted to give that. I don't know what anyone who experiences this live, whether you are live with me or you watch the replay, I don't know what you are going through. I don't know if you're a parent. I don't know if you're someone that supports kids in any capacity. I don't know what your life has gave you. I don't know. I don't know nothing about you. I thank you for coming. I thank you for listening. And all I ask is that get the help you need. And it's never too late to get it. It's never too late to receive it. It's just simply not. We are in a time that we really can heal and we can create new ways. And healing ourselves is very much for us. You don't have to think of how much it's going to support the collective, but just I would like to let you know it definitely supports the collective, and not just the collective, but the people who came before you and the people that came after you, because choosing to do differently tells your ancestors that are watching, that are looking over you, that there was a different way to be. And it allows them to heal and allows their energy to transmute into something better. Because unfortunately, there are energies harboring that are still unhealed from what they've experienced and what they've known to be. And that can fester and attach to others and make them believe that this is the way. So being that catalyst and choosing differently and showing differently just for the sake of your own sanity and your own self, it heals way further forward and back than even you can imagine. But you don't even have to think about that. I just want you to be great. I just want you to be great. And if this conversation could help avoid another young lady or another young gentleman having to be placed in a facility to get the help that they need due to how far this trauma has went and how deep this hurt has went, then I'm out here for it, because I'm trying my damnedest to not pop up at certain people's doors. I'm trying my damnedest to not publicly out certain fucking people. I'm trying my damnedest to not make a few phone calls and let fire into certain people. I'm still praying to God on that one, because it's not right. And it's not fair. And this shit has to stop. It has to stop in all ways. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I currently reside in the state of California. I know God pushed us up here for a reason, because if I was home in Memphis, Tennessee at this moment, I can't guarantee how I would be responding to the things that are transpiring at this moment. Because even with me being so smart and so sane and so calm and knowing how to make great decisions, I go to war for those I love. And my folks know that. So God got me up here for a reason. So I'm sitting my booty down for a little bit. And I'm letting my husband keep me sane, cause but do your children better. They're not just baby dolls and something that God gave you to feel loved and those things. They're not your control puppets where you now got something that you can control and tell what to do and how to do it. You are raising adults. You are raising adults who, by the grace of God, will be here past even your time. And we have the opportunity to create a better world. Like, we truly had an opportunity. And y'all believe it's this big ass thing that needs to be done, but it's something as simple as admitting to your own hurt. It's something as simple as getting healing from your own trauma so that you don't keep repeating it. It's some simple ass shit that a lot of people are not even realizing is toxic. I'll never forget, on my 30th birthday, I had recognized so many ways of my own mother that I had picked up, that I was putting onto my husband, that I'm like, I'm thankful he made it this long with me, because no matter how smart, no matter how go-getter I am, no matter how loving and nurturing I am to him, no matter how much I supported him, lifted him up, fucked him good, fed him good, all the things, I had some very toxic ass ways that I was stuck in, like, this is me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong. And of course, I didn't see nothing wrong when I'm surrounded with the toxic shit. I'm seeing it on a daily fucking basis. I'm seeing the disrespect of conversations daily, and it looks normal. It's laughed about. It's highlighted. Of course, I'm not thinking nothing wrong. And I just had a moment, like, on God, I woke up on my 30th birthday on some, like, whoa, like, this is wrong. And I checked myself before I wrecked myself, you know. So that's all, my loves. That's all. I just wanted to share that I have to dive into work. There's much that needs to be done. Got a sales page to finish up. Got some blog posts to get outsourced and written up and stuff. Got an email that needs to go out tomorrow for a client, and I want to get those things done. And some team management that needs to happen for another client. So there's things that needs to be done, but I had to get this off my heart, and just writing a post was not enough. So I'll leave it at that. And if you feel triggered, if you watch this, family member or foe, then you should ask yourself why.